Greetings friends, Alex here. This is another episode of Great Habits for Great Men. Welcome aboard. Today we're talking about the habit, the outlook on life, the philosophy on life of being enthusiastic, of being an eager beaver. Now you're probably shaking your head and tutting and laughing and chuckling away at yourself there by saying, even mentioning the word eager beaver. It's just not a very cool thing, isn't it? Enthusiasm, I don't know whether we picked it up at school and we were bullied for any signs of enthusiasm at school, and we were told that we were too keen and too, lame for being interested, for being keen. And I think that does to a certain extent get beaten out of you at school. But I'm telling you, to those of you in your adult life or whoever, to start picking up that habit again and if it was ever a habit, and it wasn't for most, but to start taking on the philosophy of being enthusiastic, of attacking your projects with perhaps a false enthusiasm to start things off. Maybe you don't feel totally into what you're doing, and very few of us do. We, by the very nature of moving from one task to the next, will come up against a barrier that says, you don't want to do this. You were doing very well doing what you were just doing, i.e. lying on your bed chilling, man. There's no need to do this other thing. So you need a certain degree of false enthusiasm, of false eager beaverism to move through that barrier, to burst through that wall that is blocking you from one task to the next. And life is about changing tasks, and life is about taking on lots of tasks. And life gets very interesting when you start committing to a policy of enthusiastic, prolific, productive, creative output. I don't know what comes first, whether it's the productivity or the creative output, but they feed into each other. When you start seeing yourself and sensing yourself as the kind of person who does a lot and runs around and is enthusiastic and attacks projects, not necessarily being all smiley and all sort of into it and like crazy over the top, but like literally just sitting down, getting stuff done and taking pride in the process of productivity and somehow finding joy in pushing stuff out. And this doesn't mean sort of rushing through things and just being this crazy headless chicken. I'm talking about prioritizing being productive over letting things sort of slowly simmer over time. Life will end that way. You need to sort of get on with things, and there needs to be a certain level, a certain degree of urgency in your life. And you've seen this. If you have committed to, say you've had a really busy phase, like I had on many occasions, I've really felt a certain sense of burnout, and I've done loads of work and I've crammed it all into like a month or two, and I've said to myself, look, I've been taking it too hard. I need to take a break. I need to step back. I need to let the creative juices simmer a bit. I need to sort of take a few days off and really allow silence and time away to replenish. And that's great for like a day or two or a week maximum, really. Or if you really want to go for it, have a really solid, proper vacation. But I'm saying don't do this all the time. Have a sense of urgency. This feeds creativity. Committing to a policy of enthusiastic, productive output, high energy, high creativity. Like read the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. He's very good on this stuff. Really changing your philosophy to that of let's chill, let's let ideas come to me. I'm not going to rush things. To the other side, which is to be eager, to do the unpopular thing, which is to jump out of bed and to kind of almost be obnoxiously, a little bit over the top in your enthusiasm for things. And a lot of this is going to take a certain degree of false enthusiasm to get you into that momentum that then leads to genuine, authentic enthusiasm. You just try this. I'm sure you've done this many times. Whenever I have just drummed myself up and psyched myself up to do something and falsely gotten eager about something, I found the enthusiasm come out after it. So enthusiasm tends to come after the fact, once you've started whatever project it is. And I found that just by committing to a policy, a habit of just turning up that thermostat of enthusiasm for things, no matter what it is. It could be cleaning the dishes, it could be going to the loo, it could be brushing my teeth. Just have fun with that enthusiasm and stop trying to be that cool kid at school who's too cool for doing things, and because you're not doing much and because your life is slow and because you're not getting much done, of course that's going to feed back into a rather downward spiral of pessimism, lack of enthusiasm, lack of energy, and it just sort of takes you down. So turn that thermostat up the other direction and give yourself that momentum by just having that habit, that philosophy habit, that habit of philosophy of being enthusiastic, being obnoxious. Be that guy in the class who says finished before everyone else has finished. Be the guy who finishes 10 minutes early. When you commit to a new project, for example, rather than being all realistic and being rational about things and planning things out and saying to yourself, okay, over the next 6 months, I'm going to write this book and I'm going to have a deadline and it's going to be crystal clear. rather than being Mr. Dry, Mr. Boring, and boring yourself out of your own enthusiasm, be Mr. Eager Beaver and say, I'm gonna smash this little beast here. I'm gonna kill this project, okay? I'm gonna do this in a quarter of the time that I expect I can even do it. I'm gonna just be ridiculous. I'm going to be ridiculous. And that takes a certain degree of fake enthusiasm to start off with, that then guides you into proper, real enthusiasm. You'll see this energy come out of you. And whenever I've committed to a life of productivity, prolificness, and over the top energy output, things have turned out very, very well indeed. That's my message to you guys. A little bit of a punch in the chest, perhaps, for some of you who are enjoying another episode of Game of Thrones. Turn it off, get enthusiastic about those things that you are in control of. Start taking on a healthy enthusiasm for productivity, getting stuff done, and be enthusiastic about as many things as you can in life. So those things that you previously thought were a chore and you couldn't be asked to do, figure out a way to get enthusiastic about those things. See different elements of your life. So all the little slivers, all the little pieces of the pie chart that make up your life, whether it be relationships, recreation, health, fitness, finance, family and friends. See each of those things as a craft in and of itself, and you'll start to enjoy being enthusiastic again about tending to each of those things in an eager way. And be obnoxious, be a little bit ridiculous. It's okay for your friends to start saying things like, he's crazy, he's getting up at 5 a.m. What's the matter with this guy? He's just going a little bit too far. Your mother's saying, why are you doing this to yourself? You want to take it easy, slow down. Be enthusiastic, take life by the reins, kick some ass, and go get some. See you in tomorrow's video, guys.